Hello everyone, Namaste. How are you doing? Fantastic. I would like to welcome to the English class of grade 10. If you are a bit far away from your television set, dear students, it's time to come closer with your textbook or pen or pencil or some other necessary materials with you. Is that okay? Great. So before we begin, let's have some recap. What did we do in our previous class? Can someone share your ideas? Good. In our previous class, we did talk about media and entertainment, right? So what is media? A way of disseminating information to a large number of people. And there are different roles of mass media in the society, like providing entertainment, giving information and knowledge. What else? Promoting business, giving awareness to the people, and many more, right? And it is also the agent of socialization, Among many, one of the main purpose of media is to entertain people so that they can occupy their leisure time. It can include print media like books, newspaper, and magazines, and the digital media like television, radio, and internet. And students, to remember, we also discussed about different movie genre, right? Like adventure movie, comedy, action movies, fantasy, romance, family drama, and thriller. Great. So, can you guess what we'll be doing today? Good. We're going to talk about pronunciations. Okay, dear students, can you read for me? Good. How do you say the following telephone numbers? How to pronounce telephone numbers? Okay, that's fine. So before we pronounce these numbers, let's watch a video. Is that okay? Then we'll come back again. That's good. Enjoy a video.
We usually say each number separately, like this: 503, 567, 5647. You will usually not hear 5647. You will hear 5647, each digit pronounced individually. One really important thing to pay attention to is how you stress the numbers. The last number in each group is stressed. It should be said louder and longer than the other numbers. It should sound like this: 888, 874, 1620. Here's another: 206, 684, 7539.
Good. Now, how do you say the following telephone numbers? Good. You have the idea now? Okay, what is this? 5059 1023. You're right. What about next? Yes, 5718 33, or you can say 3369. What about next? 2149 8777, or you can say 777. What about next? You're right. 555 or 555 3527. Please do not say 55.5 or 35.27, something like that. All right, good. Next, can you read for me, please? How do you pronounce the following years? Yeah, okay. So let's watch a video first
most years as two numbers. Like here, Elvis Presley died in 1977. Say the first two numbers, 19, then the last two numbers, 77. 1977. Step 2. Christopher Columbus died in 1506. In this sentence, the third digit is 0. So the most common way to read it is 1506. Read the first two digits, then you say O, then you say 6. 1506. One more example, this sentence now. Walt Disney was born in 1901. The first two numbers together, 19. Then you say O, then you say 1. 1901. Step 3. Years ending with zeros now. Like here, Oscar Wilde died in 1900. Say the first two digits together, 19. Then you say 100. 1900. Same thing here. Brazil was discovered in 1500. The first two numbers together, 15. Then you say 100. 1500. Years ending with 3 zeros. Example, Leif Erikson discovered North America in 1000. 1000. From years between this one and this one, you have two options. You can say the first two digits is one number, 20, then you say O, then you say 1, 2001, or you can read it as a full number, 2001.
Great. So how do you pronounce the following years? Yeah? 1984. What about next? 2022 or 2022. And if you have 20 at the end, how do you pronounce? You're right. 1800. If you have 0 somewhere in the middle, the first two letter 2005 or 2005. Dear students, now how do you say these numbers then? Alright? Can you guess? Correct. First of all, let me show you this chart. It will say this is 1, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, and 100 million. Right? So, how do you say these numbers then? Yes, this is 100,000, right? 100,000. What about this? Can you guess? That's good. This is 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 and million, right? So 4,456,200. What about this? Yeah, 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. So 56 million, 320,749. What about next? That's fine. 907 million, 542,991. That's good, dear students. After this pronunciation activity, now we're going to do the reading comprehension of the text Hachi, a dog's tale. Do you remember what did we do in our previous class about Hachi, dog's tale? Good. It is a movie, family drama, and directed by Lars Hallström. And we did talk about different characters there, like Parker Wilson, Kate Wilson, we have Andy Wilson, we have Carl, Kane, we have Jess and Marianne, and we also have Michael. Dear students, can you tell me what is the relation between Andy and Michael? You're right. They were fiancés first, and later on they married, so they became husband and wife. What about Parker and Kate? Right, they're also husband and wife, and they have a daughter. Her name is Andy. And who is Carl then? Yes, he is station master, and he's also a friend of Parker Wilson. And Parker Wilson has also another friend, Kane, who is also a university professor. That's good. And dear students, we did also discuss about the plot of the text in our previous class. All right? Good. Then let's go to exercise B. Can somebody read the instruction for me? Good. State whether the following statements are true or false. What is the first statement? Can somebody read for me, please? Great. Laura Bush is one of the characters in the movie. True or false? You see? Look at this. Laura Bush. Reviewed by Laura Bush. So she's not the character. So she's the reviewer. So this statement is you're right. False. What about next? The dog is the symbol of love, devotion, and loyalty. You can go to the text. You'll find somewhere. Read for me. Good. Hachi, a dog story, is a heartwarming and inspiring family drama that tells the story of one dog's unwavering loyalty and devotion. Unwavering loyalty and devotions. The dog is the symbol of love, devotion, and loyalty. So what is the statement? You're right again. This is true. What about next? Please read the statement. The story of the movie is based on a real incident. And you'll find the answer here. That's great. A true story or real story. So this statement is again true. What about next? Can you read for me? Portraying the traditional values of marriage is one of the weaknesses of the movie. True or false? Please go to this part of your text. Yeah? Reveres marriage and traditional family values. But this is portraying the traditional values of marriage is one of the weaknesses. Is that weaknesses? According to reviewer? No. So what is this statement going to be? You're right. This is false. Now, let's go to this statement. Can you read for me? Good. Strong bonding between the dog and his master makes everyone emotional. You'll find the text over here, somewhere here. Yeah. Look at the Hachi here, waiting outside of the station in the heat and the snow, and days and nights, So, strong bonding between the dog and his master makes everyone emotional. Of course, this is true. And what about next statement? This film is different from other family films. Is it the same? No, according to reviewer, it's different. What do you think? But, you have the connector here, but. Hachi, a dog story, does not resort to these offensive staples. These means, it says, what? So-called family films are too often littered, but Hachi is not. So, What about the statement? You're right. The statement is true. Hope, dear students, you enjoyed this true and false section. Now, let's go to answer question section. Can you read the instruction? Answer these questions. Right. So, what is the first questions? Who can read first question for me? Good. What? What is the name of the dog in the movie? What? You're going to answer what? Name of the dog. Good. Hachi. Right? A dog story is, you'll find the answer here. Okay, can you guess now? Okay, good. So, how do you write the answer? You can follow the questions, subject, like the name of the dog in the movie is, right. The name of the dog in the movie is Hachi. What? Hachi. That's good. What about next question? Who? The question is not what question. The question is who question. So looking for person. Who directed the movie? Directed. So it's looking for director, right? Who is the director of the movie? Who is the director of the movie? In the cast, you have these characters, these people, and you know, director. Okay? Yeah. Your guess is right. So, who? Lasse Hallström. So, what's your answer? Lasse Hallström directed the movie. Or you can also write the movie is directed by Lasse Hallström. Okay, what about this question? How was the relationship between the dog and its master? How question? It's looking for the process. How was the relationship? Please read this part of the text. You'll find your answer. How? What kinds of relation was that? Bond of friendship and loyalty strengthened between the cute puppy and his newfound master. Yeah? How's the relationship? You're right. So, the relationship between the model example, model answer of this question may be the relationship between the dog and his master was very strong, isn't it? At the end of the movie, we came to know that the dog had unwavering loyalty and devotion towards his master. That's great. What about next question? What is that? Why was the statue of the dog made? Why? It's looking for reason, you know, and the reasons are given here. Why the statue of dog was made? Today, a bronze statue of Hachi sits in the Shibuya station in Japan in honor of his faithfulness and loyalty. So, what's the answer? The statue of the dog was built in the Shibuya station in Japan to honor his faithfulness and loyalty towards his master. Right. Write any two weaknesses of the film. Okay? Objectionable things in the movie. We'll find over here, right? Okay? Like, you know, the scenes of exchanging kisses and the scenes of drinking champagne. Maybe the weaknesses, right? So, I have presented here the moral answer. The two weaknesses of the film mentioned in the text are below. Some viewers may feel bothersome with the exchange of kisses throughout the film, Parker and his wife says. And what may be the other reasons? Like non-alcoholic viewers and children especially may be bored, no? When Parker and Kate sip on a glass of champagne together, right? Okay. What about next question? What things in the movie touch the heart of the audience? Okay, you have to go for, this question is looking for the emotional part of the movie, and you'll find the answer here and the probable modal answer. Okay, you can read. All right, dear students, now we have another exercise here. If you had a chance to ask the screenwriter of the movie a question, you have a chance to ask a question, what would you ask? What question would you ask? Discuss. Dear students, can you discuss? What would you ask to the screenwriter? Right. So I presented the model answer here. Like the answers can be different. All right. As the writer is perfectly able to capture the life moments of the life, I would be interested in the basic rules that the screenwriter should keep in mind while writing screenplay. I would be interested in driving forces, to know about the driving forces that made him adapt the true story of Japan in the American settings, and what may be the reasons behind. Okay, and being able to maintain the authenticity, still the authenticity of the real story is maintained in the movie, and again it is adapted the Japanese scene into an American setting. No? So what may be the driving forces? I may be asking that, or some of you might be asking about, like, curiously asking about the challenges he faced in exactly portraying the unwavering devotion and loyalty between Hachi and his master. Oh my God! So how would love to know? I would love to know about the motivating factors in capturing the real values of traditional marriage and the family in the movie, and so on. And I know I have another important part mentioned over here: the live and naturally emotional performance of the dog Hachi in the movie has made me cry. When I watched the movie, I cried. So I would be asking about the difficulties he faced while training Hachi. And the live and natural emotional performance of the dog Hachi in the movie has made me cry. So I'll be asking that, yeah. The difficulties he has faced. All right, so the question vary, right? Okay, the answers vary. Dear students, now let's go to the next talks, that is writing. And there's a talk for us. Write a review of a film you have recently watched. Now imagine you have watched a movie right now, recently watched a movie. Now you can use, you have to write a review, film review, and use the text in reading 1 as a model. The text that we did in our previous class, take that as a model and you write a film review. All right. So before we go for writing, first of all, let's talk what is film review, dear students. Can you share your ideas? You're right. So what is film review? The movie review is a way of viewing the movie again and informing the reader about the film. You watch the film and you inform what the film about. But when you review the movie, we do not just report all events that happen in the movie. Rather, what do? We present unbiased and objective approach, because the review might determine whether someone will want to watch the movie. That's why reviewing movie just telling, not just telling the plot. Rather, you just be very, very sincere enough by looking at the very, very tiny events. Since the movie review that we do not sound, should sound academic. Okay, we do write movie review for academic purpose, so it should sound academic. And there are certain tips we need to keep in mind. So let me present some general tips to write film review. Watch the movie as many times as you can, and take notes of major and minor events so that it will be easier for you. Major and minor events. What else? Carry out a thorough research. If it's possible, you carry out a thorough research, like the name of the filmmaker and his motivation in making film, and what about the locations, and what is the plot, and does the movie have any historic events connected? Okay, you can go for this thing, and analyze the movie after watching it, and understand the movie before you analyze. Draft an outline and keep the movie review elements in mind. Again, movie review elements. And again, let me just share some of the basic elements of movie review. Okay, first of all, the title. You give the title. What do you do then? Yes, then your film review should have the introductory part. So what do you do in the introductory part? Okay, you talk about cast, you talk about director, producer, you talk about what genre does it belong to, you can talk about duration, how long does the movie go, and releasing date, and so on, you know. And you can go for a general summary of the story, like introduce characters and plot of the movie in a very short and sweet manner. And then you go for strengths, or what are the positive contents, what are the strengths of the movie you went so far. And if you feel there are some objectionable content or things that should be corrected, you can also mention them. And then you can go for conclusions. And before going for conclusions, you keep in mind two things: your impressions and recommendations. Yeah, your impressions and recommendations. Dear students, now let's put this thing into practice. Okay, so what is our task? Write a review of a film you have recently watched. You can use the text in reading one as a model. So dear students, you might have watched different movies, and here, for example, as a model answer, I have presented you one movie here, and I've tried my best to, and I have written a review of it. Now, the name of that movie that I'm going to present here is Captain, a mesmerizing sport drama. And you know, this is Nepali movie actually. And what is the title? Okay, I present the title here, Captain. Director, who is the director? Diwakar Bhattacharya is the director. Who is the producer? Bhuvan Keshi. What genre does it belong to? It's a sport drama. And release date? Yes, 2019, 1st March 2019. And it was released in Nepal. Run time 132 minutes. And what are the cast? Anmol Keshi as Ishan Khatka. Okay. Upasana Singh Thakuri as Shreya. And you have Priyanka Mavi as Charu. You have Sunil Thapa as the coach. And Prashant Tamrakar as Iman Bikram Thapa is also the coach of one of the football team, and later on he becomes the national coach in the final match. And you have Saroj Khanal as Madan Khatka, and he becomes the Ishan's mother, you know. There's a cast. And okay, this was the captain. I mean this is the pamphlet of the movie Captain. And you know, in an introduction and the short summary, okay, you can let me present you the model answer. Right, Captain is one of the very popular film in Nepali film industry, directed by Diwakar Bhattacharya and produced by Bhuvan Keshi. The film features Saroj Khanal and Anmol Keshi in the lead roles. They are father and son in the movie. Saroj Khanal as Madan Khatka in the movie has also a keen interest in football, and he's also a very good footballer, you know. But he's compelled to go abroad because of his poor economic conditions. His wife is against football, so because of his economic conditions, he has to go abroad. Although he's not able to be a good footballer in Nepal, he's completely devoted to guide and support his son Ishan Khatka to make him good football player. You know, he makes determinations like, even though I'm not successful, I'll make my son successful. It gives that. And as a teenager, you know, Ishan Khatka follows the footprints of his father to bring his father's dream true. When he knows about his father's accident in abroad, he faces many hurdles on the way to be a professional footballer. You know, his father goes abroad to earn money, but you know, unfortunately, he gets injured, and he's not successful, and then he has to go so many hardships. His father is injured and admitted in hospital, but he does not give up his hopes and keeps his struggle continue. And finally, he became successful in making his country win the international tournament of his country, Nepal. Although he was severely injured during the tournament, this is how he wins the game and ends the movie in a happy ending. That's very, very good happy ending. And let me go some of the strengths or positive contents of the movie. The poor economic condition of Nepal is well depicted in the movie. We see a positive relationship between and among the family members. They are so caring, they are solely devoted to each other's success and prosperity. The hardships and struggle of the family is presented in a live and successful manner. The movie reinforces the value of family bond. It makes the light-hearted audiences cry. Yes, I'm also one of the light-hearted person, so I also cried when I watched this movie. Perhaps if you are also a light-hearted person, you might also cry. The story is heartwarming and there is the use of beautiful cinematography. The plot is so simple and easy to understand as the events are put in a very, very logical sequence. All right. Now let me talk about some objectionable content things I did not enjoy. There are a few things that may be slightly inconvenient to some viewers. The audiences are taken as immature and the story is so plain and simple. Even the kids can easily understand the story. The ending is almost predictable and there is not any complexity in understanding the story. Some of the scenes are so dramatic and hyperbolic in nature, as the audience can easily guess that they are not natural. For example, the last winning goal in a champions, soccer champions, that is a little bit magical in nature and that does not sound natural. These kinds of things are also there in the movie. So what is my impression then after watching this movie? In this part you'll talk about your impressions and your recommendations. So overall this movie brings a satisfaction and successful glimpse in the Nepali film industry. The real pathetic problems of Nepalese people, including teenagers and adults, are well depicted in the movie. It has given a high sense of morale, the amount of confidence and enthusiasm and positive attitude to develop growth mindset to the people who are completely frustrated and almost gone to depression because of the pathetic socioeconomic and political situations. The main hero, the Ishan Khatka, he comes across so many difficulties, but he doesn't give up his dream and he keeps continue struggling and finally, he becomes successful. This is what, more relations I found, and this is really encouraging for the kids, encouraging the people. The positive ending has given hopes for the people and strengthened their self-esteem. If you watch this movie, your self-esteem becomes stronger, I suppose. I highly recommend people to watch this movie along with family members and friends to grow positive vibes in life. If you are frustrated in your life and if you really want to do something good, please go and watch this movie. Dear students, this is the example of film review. Dear students, we have come to the end of the class. Hope you enjoyed today's class. I'll see you later. Bye. Have a good time.